Audio Jungle.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Man, it feels like it's been a long time since I did a DDLive. It's going to be really back, going to be completely unprofessional. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay? I just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. Quiet, nice. What is this, Wednesday? Hump day? Let me say some hellos. Man, feels like it's been a while, guys. Let me see. Chester. I saw Chester was the first one. Chester's always the first one in. He's a good man. Keith White, how you doing? Gory Tiger. John Bruce, 4003. It's up to you, brother. Vinny, how you doing, man? Ali, nice to see you. Rick Johnson, the man, the myth, the legend. Adrian James, nice to see those familiar, beautiful faces. Blazing Asian, nice to see you. Yeah. Polly, how are you doing? Man, my hand is like, and this is because of my age. Maybe I'm giving you too much information. Like when my hand, like when I put it on my mouse, like right now it's still, but for some reason, like when I put it on my mouse, it like wants to shake. It's weird. Like, is that, let me see, hold on. Does that look like it's shaking? There's a little bit of a shake there, isn't it? That's weird. Don't turn over 50, guys, okay? My mother does have Parkinson's, so I don't know. Maybe it's but maybe it's normal when you get older. Maybe things start shaking. I don't know. But it's weird. This hand doesn't shake. Is that paint? Yeah, guys, I was painting today. This hand doesn't shake, but this one, like right now, it's not. Maybe it's a subconscious thing. I don't know. It's weird. Let me see. Hold on. Polly, I said hello to Polly, right? Let's see. Ali says, I've been having trouble too late. It's so annoying. Yeah, you know what? I think it catches up to us. You'll notice, like, I think when you get past, like, I don't know, I'm gonna guess like 40. Mega Wee Tam, how are you doing? Your body will start doing things and with no, like, no warning, right? Just things will start falling apart. I have a 2-story house, and so every morning when I take Lulu out, getting down those stairs is harder now than it was 10 years ago. You know, it's not easy, and you know, your body talks to you. Like, I used to like eat ice cream and cookies, and I still do, but I used to too. Mitch Hedberg. But I try, like, when I go to the grocery store, and I'm no big enough, by the way, guys. Okay, but I'm bullshitting. But when I go to the grocery store, I can avoid buying things that I used to have a tough time buying. Like I used to love buying ice cream, but now it's not even hard for me. The only treat that I buy for myself now is like the little chewy granola bars. That's about it. So, yeah. Today I just probably for like an hour we can sit and we can talk and see how you guys are doing. I hope you guys are having a good week. A good week. What's been going on in your life? What's been going on? I'm drinking. Everybody drinking. You know, we'll stick with the old DDLive rules. It's been a while since I talked about like movie news and whatnot. Am I still on? Because I'm noticing my screen. Guys, let me know if I'm still on. I'm still live. Okay, good. Because I got my on my second monitor, I got like Twitter up there. Tia Nia, how you doing? And it's like spinning. So yeah. And there was something I was going to show you on my Twitter too. But you'll notice on the thumbnail, and I don't normally on the DD Lives talk about non-horror stuff. Kevin Munn, how you doing, man? Nice to see you. But it seems like everybody's talking about Supergirl right now, but they're not talking about the movie, like the substance of the movie. Yeah, they're shitting on it for sure, and it's a movie, and it's far from perfect. But I think the thing it's just, I guess it's interesting, right? Human behavior. It's just really interesting, and I'm probably not going to tell you anything new, but I don't know. I've just been like observing the way things are. And this isn't me coming on here trying to plead to you that Supergirl is this phenomenal movie. It's not. It's a 3 out of 5 movie, if anything. Okay. And you know what? I'd love to highlight what you guys have to say too. So here we go. Here we go, right here. Love, what is that? Love to do bore 1902. I hope I said that right. I disagree with the premise a little. Most people can go watch a movie and move on. A vocal minority wants to control the culture and rejected this film way before seeing it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And it seems like it's the unpopular thing to state the obvious. That's the weird thing. It's like for some reason, and I don't want to like call channels out, even though everybody knows, but I've never seen it at the point where we're literally making fun of the main star. I don't care if it's a guy or a girl, I don't care what color they are, but to literally belittle and put an image that's not the actual star of the movie, but actually referring to them as like an animal. You know, like I know they were comparing Millie Alcock to like the feral kid from Road Warrior, and then they're putting Chaka from Land of the Lost on there, and I just think, like I was thinking this the other day. Can you imagine if back in like the 90s, like can you imagine if Siskel and Ebert did that? Like, can you imagine if they started out a review and they said, by the way, we haven't seen the movie yet, first off. And then, but this is what we want to make fun of the like, you know what? Here we go. Supergirl, like the original Supergirl, 1984. Okay. Can you actually imagine this? Siskel and Ebert, they're reviewing Supergirl, but they haven't seen the movie yet. But there's something, you know, in the press or whatever, or there's something about Helen Slater's life that bugs them. They're unable to separate a star's personal life, personal opinions, with actually, you know, watching the movie. And so they say we haven't seen Supergirl yet, starring Helen Slater, but you know what? To us, Helen Slater, let's compare her to a donkey. And I'm not saying Helen Slater looks like a donkey. No, very beautiful woman. But let's literally put a picture of a donkey up there on the if they had thumbnails back then. Let's literally ridicule the actress and call her names and call her a donkey and call her an idiot. I just don't understand. And even like when I started reviewing movies 10 years ago, this was not happening. This was I couldn't imagine this, and YouTube reviewing has it's always been, I think, maybe it, a little bit more wild. I get a little bit more free spirited than traditional film, reviews. Yeah, we let our hair down. Okay, I have my own thumbnails where I say a movie is shit. All right, the movie is shit after I've seen the movie. By the way, but to me, it feels like this was coming, and you know what? People love this type of content. I'm not saying people should boycott any type of content. I would never, ever, ever say that. I'm all for free speech and saying what you want, but I can have an opinion on what I think is crossing a line, and I think it's really just distasteful. And it has been sort of bothering me over the last week. I'm like, wow, this is where we are now. This is what we're doing to movies. And you know what? Let's to talk about Millie Alcock a little bit. Is it really that bad for a celebrity to have a political opinion? And I don't think she went overboard with her. I haven't seen every interview, and maybe there's something I'm missing here, but I've seen quite a few little snippets, her walking the red carpet, and they're like maybe 30-second snippets, something like that. And I haven't seen anything where she seems mean spirited. And I'll even say, to bring up like Rachel Zegler, to me, that felt a little mean spirited. Okay. Not that they should make fun of Rachel Zegler and compare her to an animal or anything like that, but I can kind of see where her treatment came from. But Millie Alcock, it feels to me like there was nothing mean spirited about what, even though she was talking about, because it was Pride Month. It was Pride Month last month, and a Pride Month interviewer asked her I'd say kind of a softball question, and I think she gave a softball answer. I don't think she said anything that was completely outrageous. I didn't think she tried to tell people how to raise their children. She was really just talking about the movie and saying something silly. So, but these channels, they take these little snippets and sometimes out of context, and they just really run with it, and you get like freaking, and we've talked about this before, but you get so many freaking videos, um and not having seen the movie. So when a lot of these channels, when they finally, and they do go see the movie, when they finally go see the movie, we all know what they're going to think. I'd say 95% of the time when they go see any movie that they're completely ripping apart and shitting on, surprised they end up hating it. And maybe a little bit of psychology there. Maybe you get skewed a little bit because you want to hate a movie so bad, and it happens. Which oftentimes when I go into a movie, we all have our expectations, right? When we go into any movie, and sometimes that movie surprises you. Sometimes you go into that movie and you're like, oh wow, this did not turn out the way I thought. And even for me, Supergirl, I had no desire to see Supergirl really at all. It just didn't look that good. I was not the biggest fan of James Gunn's Superman at all. I gave it I think like a glowing review the first time I saw it. But every time I watched the movie, it got worse and worse and worse, worse. And so much so that I can't finish the movie anymore. I only make it like halfway through. I think there's so many problems with that movie. I'd rate it probably a 2.5 out of 5. So that's probably why I wasn't expecting Supergirl to be that great. Wasn't really that excited to see it. And so I think going into it with the lowest of expectations, it pleasantly surprised me. I've seen it twice, and I give it like a 3.2 out of 5. Far from perfect. I think the movie has some heavy problems. I do think she takes too long to put on the costume. Um, I do think her being drunk for a good portion of the movie, it's a creative choice. I don't think they needed to go that far with it, because they're really talking about, her arc and how she started off in a really, really rough state, given what happened to her parents and, abandonment issues, forceful abandonment issues, because, her parents died. And, yeah, so her backstory is a lot different than Superman. So it kind of checks out because she's, sort of rebellious. It makes sense, how she is, right? And, we got a short span of time, so her arc, I don't even think is finished. But I do think there was a good enough arc in Supergirl. So yeah, my thoughts, and it's one guy's thoughts. It was just kind of bothered me. I think it's just kind of annoying. You know, and talking about like, the anti woke channels, um, they do their thing. Hell, I even agree with them a lot of the time. It's not like us versus them type thing. It's not like you either disagree with everything they're saying or you, agree with everything they're saying. No, I think they do make a lot of great points about a lot of stuff that they're talking about. Critical drinker, Nerdrotic. I do think they do make some good points. I think they're, especially Nerdrotic. I think his videos are very well edited. Whoever edits his, videos, but, I just, I just think it gets kind of mean spirited when they start making fun of the actress's looks. That's when I feel like I need to step in and say something, because I like, okay, we're at this level. Is this like the worst case scenario? Is it going to get even worse and worse and worse? I don't know. Again, I'm not here to defend Supergirl and say it's this freaking, golden crown of a movie. It's not at all, right? And so I think, and I put there on the thumbnail, is it manufactured, anger, for clicks? And look, I get it. We all do what we got to do on YouTube to try to keep the content fresh. But yeah, I guess we all have certain lines that maybe we won't cross. Okay, and yeah, that's where I'm at on this. Okay, I'm not here to like call anybody. I'm a small channel. Okay, so it doesn't really matter anyway. But I can still talk. I still have a voice, and sometimes I just think, what the fuck are we doing? That's the big. It doesn't make sense to me to go this route. And maybe it's just fandom these days and movies these days, and, social media can be an ugly thing. It can really be an ugly thing. Okay, so I got to stop talking, even though this is my live stream. Oh man. We're not just going to talk about this. Okay, I'm not going to ramble for an hour about Supergirl, but yeah, I felt like I needed to, at least state my case on the thing. However long-winded I can be about it. So, yeah. Yeah, it's all, and I think we all maybe grift a little bit. The whole thing with YouTube, especially if you take it seriously and you're wanting to, make it, maybe even like a career. I hate to use that word, career. My current stance on YouTube is that, I love YouTube being a hobby for me. I love not depending on income from YouTube. I love being able to take a break. Luckily I have a job that I enjoy, but even still, even though it's not my main, gig, I still try to be consistent. And sometimes to be consistent, you gotta, think outside the box. Maybe you gotta kind of foot stomp or pounce on something, a current topic that, everybody's talking about. I mean, if I scroll freaking like here, you know what? I'll pull up the the Twitter page. It's crazy. Let's see. Share screen? Yeah, share screen. Hold on. Here you go. And this wasn't me. I didn't search for anything. I pull up Twitter and boom, this is what I say. Okay. It's kind of funny. Here we go. Let's see. Why the fuck is he get it? Wait, hold on. Why the fuck is he get it a press run for Supergirl? We all warned y'all about this fake ad. It's just like I don't even know this guy. Okay, it's a who is just a mouthpiece for the studio. Women also say Supergirl is trash. The fact he has been sent out to do damage control proves that DCU is done. It's a guy giving his opinion on, I guess, what's going on. But, let's listen to what he says, okay? I've seen this guy on like Christian Harloff's channel, but I don't know him. All right. Hold on, let me put this on. Let's see what he says. Hold on.
And I think my biggest frustration with this one has been what you're speaking to right now about Supergirl. It's such an obvious story of a broken person that is suffering. And the most things I've seen are like, I wouldn't want my daughter to look up to an alcoholic. Fuck you. Like, that's an insane perspective on trauma. I would hope that if my kids can understand the depth of pain that she went through, they'd be empathetic. But you as a grown fucking man can't. Like, you don't deserve to watch movies. So, like, I get angry because it gives me such a pause of like, not only are they intentionally being fucking daft, but they're maligning people's pain and suffering for the sake of their own fucked argument. And it just embarrasses me to be part of the same fucking species, these chuds. And
he's mad. I think he's a little upset. I kind of agree with what he's saying though, because it seems like there's more of a superficial approach. I'll just refer to them as the chuds, like he does. But I think the chuds, they tend to go with more of a superficial approach instead of trying to dig in and seeing what the actual story is there for Supergirl, because I think the story is pretty obvious. And like I said earlier, I think there's definitely an arc there. And can you find maybe a little bit of inspiration in watching the story that Supergirl goes through in the movie? I think the movie starts off dark. She's in kind of a, not the phantom zone, but the shit zone, right? And by the end of the movie, there's definitely some light. She sees what her true purpose is. Would I be like upset to bring, like a 12-year-old daughter or something like that to that movie? Not at all, because I think at the end of it, I think there's a good message. Although slight spoilers, actually big spoilers for the end of this movie, just in case you guys haven't seen it. But one thing I do think they should not have done at the end of the movie, again, spoilers, was have Supergirl kill Krim. Just because I think it goes against the nature of Supergirl as a character. And you can compare this to like Man of Steel and him killing Zod, but I think the situations are different. Zod literally was trying to kill 3 people that were right next to him. The people that were against that wall. Zod, and if he didn't kill Zod, Zod was going to keep going, and it was the people of Earth. So you could have a little debate on that. When I saw Supergirl, when she killed Krim, given who Krim is as a character, and he's like a child trafficker. No, yeah, I wasn't sad that she killed him, but I'm talking about just the did she have to kill him given the nature of the character? No. Okay. But yeah, I kind of agree with what he's saying, if I'm being honest. And let me know if you guys think. Again, I don't know this guy personally, right? I've seen him on like Christian Harloff's show, but I think he is speaking a little bit of truth there. So yeah, let me scroll down and see what else we got here. Okay. I rarely do these types of posts, but someone had to because I'm fucking done. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Ladies and gentlemen, cheering on the failure of a movie and saying that James Gunn and Millie Alcock got what they deserved, including, I'm going to give you my opinion on this in a second, including the misogynistic and misandrist insults that she received over the past couple of months. Take off glasses out of frustration. takes off classes. This type of shit is what I hate. Grifters, the bane of my existence and the scourge of modern day reviews, opinions, and toxic fandom conversations. These sick individuals relish on what wanting to be proven right because they hate women. See, and there's some of this. I don't think they hate women, and I don't think you can lump all of them into the same. Or maybe you can, but I'm trying to be fair here, okay? And I have watched some of some of like Nerdrotic and some of those guys. I don't honestly think they hate women, but I do think they sort of have kind of a skewed view on fandom, and I do think they have certain prerequisites, I guess, that they expect out of every superhero movie. And by the way, it seems like 95% of what they talk about is superhero movies and maybe Star Wars, which that's their lane. You got to have a lane, but I'm trying to be fair here. Okay. Look at that person there, smile on that thumbnail. You can see the and feel the malicious joy and absolute contempt towards Gunn and Alcock. Is this type of shit to expose your kids or teenagers to? I guess to comment on that one, I see what he's saying there is like, young, impressionable minds. I guess, you know what it is? To sum it all up, just constant negativity. I think that's what it is. It's just, like I don't think I could run a channel like this where like everything I talk about is something I want to shit on. And yeah, guys, I shit on movies that I don't like when I see them. I would say a good 30% of my reviews are movies that I didn't really like. And when I don't like it, I'm going to tell you I don't like it for sure. Okay. Ashton talking about Black Christmas 2019. That is abysmal trash. I fucking hate it. Okay. I am not against ripping apart a movie after I've seen it. Okay. I might have an opinion on a movie. Like there's been trailers that have come out. And I think that's going to be trash. That's not going to be good at all. And there's no problem with telling you guys that. Okay. But then I think sometimes it gets almost personal, right? You feel like it's just like when you're just talking about the same thing, pouncing on it over and over and over and over again. And, that's their free right. They could talk about whatever they want to talk about. But I'm just talking about personally, that would be soul sucking for me. It really would. And I think it just sort of like, I need to have some balance, I guess, a little bit of more like even keel. Otherwise, I'll start getting really cynical and I'll start losing my mind, right? I like watching a movie, going into it and just saying, yes, that was really, really fun. I had a great time. I'm really excited for Evil Dead Burn. I can't wait to see that movie. I'm really excited for Werewolf, Robert Eggers' new movie. I can't wait to see that freaking movie. So, yeah, I like to have balance, right? I don't like to just focus on 100% negative shit over and over and over again, okay? I don't think I need to read anything else what he's saying, but yeah, I mean it's an ugly thing. And again, I'm not saying Supergirl is this great movie or anything, but I think it got a little bit out of hand. It got really nasty, and given who I think Millie Alcock is as a person, I think she seems, I don't want to say the word delightful, but her demeanor in her interviews, and I don't care what she's saying, I feel like she comes across as sort of like a fun, genuine type of person. And so I think that's where I take, like if she came out in these interviews and was just like bashing everybody and there was just kind of a mean spirit to it, then I would say, yeah, maybe she deserves what she gets, but I still wouldn't like make fun of her physically, like her face and all that. It's just, and by the way, Millie Alcock is a very attractive young girl. That's another thing. And I was thinking of this too. Here's another thing I can mention. Okay. Let me switch back over to here. Okay. Here's another thing I can mention. I was thinking of Millie Alcock's parents. And you know what? You get in this business, you get what you get. You know what you signed up for. I do agree with that. Okay. I do agree with that. But that's somebody's daughter. It makes me think like, what if my daughter got this freaking dream role of Supergirl. And then the movie comes out. She did the best she could. And by the way, Millie Alcock didn't write the script. Okay. I mean, I guess if you got to make fun of somebody and you're going to go that route and you're going to, kind of go below the belt, wouldn't you like do that to maybe the director or the writer of the movie? But no, she's the face. She's Supergirl. She didn't write the movie. But like if my daughter, she was Supergirl, she became Supergirl, I'd be so freaking proud of her. And with, that doesn't automatically mean the movie's going to be like amazing or anything or great. It could be still be bad. But then I gotta go online and I see people constantly over and over again putting let's say like a dog face on my daughter's face. I just think, I think that's a dick move. It really is. And yeah, and again, where's the end of all this? Does it get worse? Are we going to go like, I don't know. Does it get violent? I don't know. I think it's just really mean-spirited and ugly. And I think, a lot of these guys, they put out this content and they don't yell, they don't scream or anything. It's just the act of doing it. But what they do is they cause the other side of the argument to yell and scream and get really mad. So you see what I'm saying? So it turns into just this really ugly beast, right? And it really makes me miss being a movie fan, not even like a decade ago, when really none of this stuff really existed to this level. I don't think you could make the argument that Star Wars got ugly with the prequel trilogy. But even still, I don't think it got this bad. And I just don't like the ugliness in the world. I guess and I know that sounds really like kind of naive and, but yeah, I don't like ugliness in the world. I don't like freaking, let the movie speak for itself. If you hate the movie, say you hate the movie. That's fine. Give the reasons why you hate the movie. But crossing over into actually making fun of the actors' faces, I think that's just, I've already said that, but yeah. Let me see if, yeah, but if I show you this, I mean, that's all it is. It's nothing but Supergirl. And why does this movie, this 3 out of 5 movie, why is there so much negativity and hate towards a movie? I don't even like Superman, 2025. I don't even like that movie. I thought Supergirl was better, in my opinion. I thought it was better, but it's just, I don't know. Very, very strange. Okay. What do you guys got to say? That's all I'm going to say about the freaking Supergirl thing. All right. I got Lulu here. All right. Let's see what you're saying. Jason here. Ashley and Jason, I love them so much. The source material they pulled from made my decision whether I'm going to see it theatrically. I don't bash it. I vote with my dollar and move on. There you go. That's exactly what I think. Vote with your dollar, move on. I'm trying to, guys, what's the last movie that got, I know the Odyssey was getting a lot of shit over the last, and then, it was like Odyssey and Supergirl were like the 2 last things that were just getting destroyed. But Mark Edgar, buddy, how you doing, man? Nice to see you. And dude, there was a song on your album that you sent me that I was like, damn, I love this song. And I think it's like the 3rd or 4th song on side A. I can't remember. But yeah, it's really good. And I had it on my record player downstairs. It was nice. All right. John Bruce, he says the studio is in for like $250 million. Every really expensive movie in history that lost money is going to take some shots. And Now that's you get what you fucking deserve. I agree with that. When you're freaking dropping $250 million on a movie, and maybe he's talking about the Odyssey. I think Supergirl was like 100 and almost like 175 million, 170 million. I think we're gonna eventually work ourselves out of these movies because they seem to bomb over and over again because the amount of money that they have to make to even clear profit is like astronomical. And I wonder, like, why in the hell do they put so much money into these movies? Like, it's such a gamble, especially in this day and age when you got movies like Obsession coming out being made for under $1 million and just like slaying. Like Obsession, I think it's in the top 5, top 7 highest grossing horror movies of all time. It just passed The Exorcist, which is crazy. Which I know, adjusted for inflation, The Exorcist probably at least doubles that. But still, I mean, kudos to freaking Obsession. And I've said this before. I'm so glad I am in the horror lane on YouTube. We in the horror community, we don't have this nonsense, not nearly to that level. Maybe 10% to that level sometimes when you get with Scream and Halloween. But thank God we don't have to deal with this bullshit. Like the horror community, I think for the most part is solid. You know, everybody's it doesn't seem like there's two sides, right? On the horror community. It feels like it's everybody collectively watching horror movies and we all have different opinions, differing opinions, right? That's where we are. And I love that. So, you know, I would never try to like away from horror. You know, I love talking about horror. I'm gonna be reviewing. Oh, I'm gonna be putting my my monthly encasing. That's the next thing I'm actually putting together. And I put a couple of little surprises on there too. Some one of them was like The House at the End of the Street, that movie with Jennifer Lawrence. I always like throw in a couple of classic movies in there and you know, just kind of mix it up, right? It's almost like a random ranking mixed in with newer movies that came out for the month, right? So yeah. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Oh, and I'm planning on reviewing this one really soon. I reviewed Night of the Living Dead, the remake. Look at that. I haven't even opened that yet. Should I open it right here live on? Let's do it right now. I've had this thing. I got this Christmas like 4 years ago. Day of the Dead. Still haven't seen Day of the Dead yet. And I've been saving it, I guess, for a special day because I wanted to review it. And sometimes you tell yourself, I don't want to watch it yet because I want to review it. And I'm not ready to review it. So, but it's coming soon. It's coming soon. I know there were a lot of videos out about the Day of the Dead 4K, I guess, from Shout Factory. And there was like some controversy over that, over the audio. But I won't get that. You know, I'm not the type of guy that has to have every edition, unless it's Halloween, of course. Like if Arrow comes out with a freaking release for John Carpenter's Halloween, oh my God. That's almost like Holy Grail type stuff. I don't know why. I would just love an Arrow edition of Halloween. But yeah, I opened it. There you go, guys. So I think this is Shout Factory. Yeah. Day of the Dead. Do you guys like Day of the Dead? Is Day of the Dead better than Dawn of the Dead? I think Dawn of the Dead is one of the greatest freaking zombie movies ever made. Troy says Primate is his favorite horror movie of 2026. What's my favorite horror movie of 2026? You know what? Let me pull up. Let's see. Hold on. David Thorson says, I prefer Night and Dawn, but Day of the Dead is great too. Is Day of the Dead more like tongue in cheek? Like I hear there's a little bit of comedy in Day of the Dead. Am I right on that? Jason's using Ashley's account. Nice. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Brett, he says, pre-ordered my 4K Obsession on Amazon. Oh shit. You know what? Should I pre-order? Let me see. Hold on. should I pre-order it right now live? Let me go to my Amazon account. I didn't know that they had a 4K announced. Hold on. $4K. There it is. It says Blu-ray, but the cover says 4K. Collector's edition. Let me see what you guys see. There we go. So it's $32. What do you think, guys? Should I go ahead and pull the trigger? That's a pretty good price, for a 4K. $32. Man, it better have a slipcover. It better have a slipcover. Guys, do you prefer slipcovers or steelbooks? Okay, July 14th. That's coming out soon. All right, yeah. I'm going to hit pre-order now. Is that going to show my address, though? Hold on. Not that I don't love you guys, but let me see. Pre-order. Let me see. Place your order. Oh, good thing it showed my address. Good thing I didn't click over. Okay. Let me go to Bloody Disgusting real quick. Hold on. And let me see. Let me share. Yeah, it's pre-ordered, guys. I did it for you. I learned about watching you, all right? I learned about watching you. Let's see. Yes, comes with a slip, the standalone Blu-ray also. Yeah, I gotta have that slip. I was showing off my strangers slips. Let me pull up my Instagram here. Hold on. Come on. Man, my Wi-Fi is slow up here today. Yeah, here we go. Share screen. Instagram. There we go. Look at those freaking slips. They're beautiful. Hold on. And I'm probably one of the few that likes these movies, but I don't know. I have a good time with them. I think the first one's by far the worst, but I like 2 and 3. Yeah, I like them. So, all right. Let's see what you guys are up to. Yeah, I saw Obsession twice, Troy. Yeah, what a freaking movie. Jesus. So I started a new job. It's still under the same company, but don't be too good at your job, because then they'll move you somewhere else where they need you more, because that's what happened to me. Uh-oh. Damn, am I gonna have to go? Yep. Damn it. The wife's calling, guys. Hold on. So I love you guys. Have a good night.